I hope you are all into third year or final year and everybody has a dream job, right? So this section is about how to get your dream job. It's a practical section. So I was a job seeker around 7 years back, and I still recruit people to my companies. So I know both sides of the coin, how to be a job seeker as well as a job provider. So when you start seeking a job, what could be the biggest hurdle? I hope all are in mute, but just message me. When you start seeking a job, you may have a dream job, and you apply for the job in many companies, a kind of job, any kind of engineering job. What's the biggest hurdle you are facing after applying? Just can you tell me the answer in the chat box? So the biggest hurdle is that the HR of a company receives thousands of resumes for a single job opening. For example, I have a company. When I put a single job posting on Naukri or Monster, I get around 2,000 applications. This is the biggest hurdle. Can somebody unmute the mic and tell me, are you getting my voice? Because I'm confused. Okay, fine. So coming back to the problem, this is the biggest issue. So we should think from the company side also. They have a job opening, they are ready to recruit a fresher, but they get thousands of applications and they are confused. There will be one HR person if the company is having an HR department. Otherwise, it will be in a job agency. They are doing the same task. So they want to find out the right candidate from these thousands of applications. A rough figure is that for a single job opening in engineering field, they will get around 2,000 applications via Monster or Naukri. So that's the biggest issue. And they want to conduct an interview. For that interview, they will invite around 10 people, but 2,000 people have applied. That means they have to reject around 1,980 people. And this job is done by HR, no one else. HR most probably may not be a technical person. She or he may not be good in people handling. And how does HR reject the resumes? That's the first question. So your application is basically in the format of a resume, right? Curriculum vitae, CV or resume, whatever maybe you call it, is in the format of a resume. HR reject the resume based on 2 points of a resume. First is appearance, second is content. So if your resume is having good appearance and good content, then you will cross a first hurdle. In fact, this is the biggest hurdle, because out of 2,000 applications, they have to reject almost 1,980 people. Thus, rejection rate is so high. If you can cross this first hurdle, the second part is easy. That is, the company will most probably invite you for an interview in their office or a test. There only 10 people will be there and one will be selected. So that's almost 10% of getting that job. But in that first phase, the rejection process, screening process, the rejection rate is so high. Almost, I don't know, maybe 99% of people are rejected. And how does HR reject a resume? Mostly from the appearance. She will just open the application and she has almost 2,000 applications to scan. So if the appearance is not so good, if resume is bad looking, very sharply written, wrong grammar or very boring in appearance, then she will reject it immediately, no doubt. And second is content. So we will discuss both this part in this section. So this section is all about screening the first phase of that rejection process when you apply for a dream job. And the statistics I am saying is quite real. They take only 10 from 2,000 application, and that is for a not so reputed company like mine. But for a reputed company like maybe Microsoft or General Motors or GE, the applications might be even higher than this, and rejection will be even higher than this as the company reputation grows. So this is the biggest issue when a fresher search for a job. And companies are always welcome to recruit a fresher. Don't get any misconception that because of your non-experience, inexperience, you are not getting the job. Most of the companies want freshers because they are quite flexible. Freshers can be molded into any format. They can do any job. But an experienced candidate might have many conditions, many demands. But freshers are quite flexible, so companies want freshers. And they get many applications, so they have to reject few people, not few people, many people. So an HR reject a resume based on its appearance and content, and if you can cross this first hurdle, then you are almost done. You have crossed the biggest hurdle. In the second phase, you are 10% of getting selected. So this section is all about clearing this clearing this first hurdle. And regarding the second phase, I cannot help you. It's all up to you. It's an interview process. You have to go there. You have to present your knowledge, skill, your ability to handle the situation. There, I cannot help you. That's all up to you. But I can definitely help you in the first part of clearing the rejection process. And this will even help you in the second part if your resume is good. So a resume has two parts, appearance and content. And by appearance, what I mean is that your resume should look something like this. Are you able to see it clearly? Appearance of a good resume. I'll admit a few more people. Can somebody tell me in chat box, are you able to see the resumes clearly? Yes, it is clear. Good. Then we will proceed. Because when I present, I am not able to see your charts. I have to. We will get back to the presentation. So these are the examples of few good-looking resumes downloaded from the internet, but really good-looking. The appearance is quite professional, nice, right usage of colors. There is enough content, and it's a single-page resume. And mostly HR people prefer that. And the youngsters or freshers have a misconception in mind that if they write long resumes, 3 or 4 pages, the HR or recruiter will be more impressed. That's wrong. They don't have the time to go through your 3 or 4 long essays or resumes. They have just 3 or 4 seconds in their hand to select or reject you. That's the time they take. Within 3 or 4 seconds after opening your resume, they will decide whether to reject this candidate or select this candidate. So your appearance matters, and never write resumes of 3 or 4 pages, maximum 2 pages, that's sufficient. And these 2 resumes have only 1 page, even better. So they have compiled all the content in a small space using small font, but yet readable. You can see from the look, they have included all their experience, their skills, their background, their address, everything is there. But they are single page, so maximum you can limit your resume to 2 pages. And one more advice, never use Microsoft Office for resume making. Because Microsoft Office is not for resume making. You can make your resume in Microsoft Office, but it won't look professional like this. This kind of resumes are impossible to make with Microsoft Office or Microsoft Word. So I have 2 suggestions. Either use Affinity Designer or Adobe Illustrator. Now tell me in the chat box, how many of you know any of the software, Affinity Designer or Adobe Illustrator? Does anybody know? Adobe Illustrator or Affinity Designer. Does anybody know this software? You can tell in the chat box. Yeah, somebody knows Illustrator. Good. Sriram there. So these are powerful design softwares for graphic design, but you can use this software to build your resumes. It will look something like this, quite attractive, quite professional. The HR will be quite impressed with the appearance. The HR will feel that you are a professional. You have invested some time to make your resume. So the chance of crossing the first hurdle is much higher if you make a resume like this. And not on name of the software, either Affinity Designer or Adobe Illustrator. They are both are simple software. You can learn it your own. Even if you invest 1 week to build your resume, it worth. Just 1 week to build your resume. The design, color, style, font style, size, etc. Because it's better to make your resume better appearing before start applying for many jobs. There is no point. You'll apply for a job and you won't get any response from the recruiter. You'll be wondering why he or she is not responding, but this is a reason. The recruiter has just 3 or 4 seconds to reject or accept you. And if your resume is shabby looking, something which is made in Microsoft Office, 3 or 4 pages long, then you are gone. Because I'm a recruiter now, I know the mentality of a recruiter, that's why I'm saying this. So this is about appearance, the first part of a resume. And second is about content. So with only appearance, you won't be able to clear the round. Even if the appearance is good, but there is no content in the resume, then you'll be in trouble. So by content, what do you mean? So what do you think? So I have listed some content here. Maybe you can write your marital status, your hobbies, cooking, reading, enjoying music, or first prize in treasure hunt, your religion, your qualities. So how many of you think that these are the right content? Please let me know in the comment box. Yes or no? Are they good or bad? Somebody saying no, sir. No, so good. So all are saying that most of you are saying that they are bad content, right? But when I check a resume of a fresher, most of the time I see this. They are right, they are married or not. So what is there to do with your marriage style with the job? And are they interested in cooking or reading and they have won first prize in treasure hunt? It has nothing to do with that job opening or your skill and your religion. All these are useless. Don't write any of this. So what the HR is looking for is that they have a job opening with some skill and knowledge requirement, whether you are meeting that requirement. For that, this kind of impressions are useless. This will just make resume bigger and HR will feel that you are not serious. You are just time passing fresher. So never write anything like this, but you can write. Before writing, you should say that. So now it's clear that these are not content. Never write anything like this. You can write your date of birth, your address, etc. That will be useful. But this kind of rubbish things never write on the resume. In short, your resume should reflect your knowledge, your skills, and your passion. Your passion for that particular job, particular stream. So here you can see 2 words: knowledge and skill. Now I have a question. Can anybody tell what's the difference between a skill and knowledge? Maybe somebody can unmute the mic and tell me that. What's the difference between skill and knowledge? Both are very important terms. What's the difference? Tell me please. Somebody can please unmute the mic. Otherwise please put in the chat. Difference between skill and knowledge. No reply? No idea? Then I have to answer it. See, you know a software called CATIA or AutoCAD. Is that a skill or knowledge? knowledge theory, skill practical, somewhat okay, but not exactly. Even your knowledge can be practical. So my next question, you know what software called AutoCAD? Is that a skill or knowledge? Just write the answer in the chat box. It's a skill, exactly. It cannot be termed as knowledge. So to be more clear, the duty of your engineering college or your professors is to impart knowledge in you, not skill. That's a misconception. Skill is your responsibility. For an engineering graduate, skill is your responsibilities. But nowadays, colleges have started teaching even skill also. But for an engineer, knowledge is the most important thing. The things you learn from your textbooks, the things you learn from your lectures, things you learn by solving problems, analytical problems, those are the real knowledge. And your skill should be based on that. For example, knowledge in AutoCAD or SolidWorks or CATIA is a skill. If you know only the software and no engineering knowledge, that skill is not so useful. You won't be able to use that in many occasions, in different occasions. But if you have good engineering knowledge and you have acquired a great amount of skill in different software, different fields, that's a deadly combination. In short, a right mix of skill and knowledge is a deadly combination. Deadly means any recruiter will be one to hire you. If you have good solid knowledge in engineering basis, engineering background, conceptual knowledge, also you have gained skills in many software maybe. Nowadays everything has become computer oriented, even mechanical engineering, civil engineering. Or electronics and computer is always computer oriented. So if you are skilled in many software, or also if your knowledge is strong, then you are a sure shot winner. You are going to get that job. So I have listed few software which can be useful for some engineers. For example, AutoCAD and SolidWorks and CATIA can be useful for mechanical engineers. MATLAB, Proteus, ANSYS, Maxwell is for electronics engineers. ANSYS Mechanical is for mechanical. Simulink is for electronics. StatPro is for civil engineers, structural analysis. COMSOL is a general FEA software. I hope you are able to read the names of the software. So please tell me in the chat box, how many of you know at least one software out of this? Please say yes if you know at least one. At least type number. 1, 2, whatever may be that. If you know one software, type 1. If you know 0, type 0. Okay, Sabri knows 4 software. Nice. Aguila has to learn at least one software. She is 0 now. Srira knows 2 software. Alkay Krishna knows 3 software. Nice. I'm glad to know that most of you are familiar with this software. It's not completely alien to you. So we'll get back to the presentation. So all these are skills, they are not knowledge. If you have the right engineering knowledge and if you learn this skill or software, then you are going to be extremely efficient in your work. If you learn this software but your engineering basis is not so strong, then your growth will be much limited. The chance of getting a job will be very rare, very slim. What's the issue is that you know the software really well, you know where are the options in the software, how to 3D model it, how to do an FEA simulation. But as soon as you come across a new problem, if your engineering background is not so strong, you will be stuck. You won't be able to solve it. But if your engineering knowledge is so sound and strong, then even if the problem is no, you will be able to use your common sense or conceptual knowledge and you are going to solve it. That's the difference. So a recruiter always check for both these things. Not only skill, not only knowledge, both. A recruiter wants both. In fact, they give equal importance for both. And knowledge is a basis and skill is something on that. Skill is more about methodology. It's about the process or procedure. You know something and how to execute that practically. That's a skill. And on your resume, see, if you claim that I know all the software 100%, that's not going to be true. Nobody can learn a software 100%. All these softwares are quite huge. There are many things to learn. So on your resume, you can self-evaluate yourself by giving stars like this. Maybe if you are very confident that you know some software really well, I don't know, you can give 5 star. If you are not so confident, you know at least the basis of that, you can give 2 star. So in the previous sections, we saw how to build a good looking resume. There we can add stars for different software. Instead of writing everything, you can tell that visually. Now you claimed that you have one skill, right, to the recruiter on your resume. But how to prove it? Just by writing, I know this software is not sufficient nowadays. Everybody does that. And nowadays, youngsters are more about crook than hook. So just claim anything. So HR always look for some proof on your resume. How to prove your skills. There are good options nowadays. Internet has become such a big auditorium for youngsters. Effective use of Google Drive or YouTube. YouTube is just optional. So there are different kinds of job for an engineer. If your job is computer oriented, even for mechanical or civil engineers, there are many computer oriented jobs nowadays, design jobs, analysis job. If your job is computer oriented, you do one project, maybe your college project or your own project, something interesting. And here is a good example using Google Drive. This guy has modeled a CAD model using maybe SolidWorks. And maybe your name is Shabarish. You can write your name here instead of this tone, or instead of this 1, 2, 3, 4. Write your name in 3D on that CAD model and upload this file on Google Drive and put that link on your resume. Is that clear? You make your own CAD model, and this is a very simple CAD model, but go for a complex one. The most complex one for you. Whichever level you can do, try for the most complex CAD model, or if it is analysis, try for a most complex analysis and most accurate, and upload that file on Google Drive. Directly that file, not image, not PDF, directly that file, and send that file to, put that link in your resume so that the HR will be able to open that file, study your work. She will have a clear idea how capable you are. And most importantly, when she sees such a link, she is very clear that this guy is good. He or she is confident enough to put your link on the resume. So the chance of clearing that first hurdle, that's the biggest one, is almost easy for you. And this is only for people who have skills in computer oriented work, like CAD, FES, CFD, like that. But assume you are not good in computers, you want to do some practical jobs in engineering, maybe CNC machining or hands-on making of some circuits. I don't know what is that in electronics. In that case, you can record your video. The practical work you are doing, you can record as a video and upload that in YouTube or Vimeo and put the link. So the recruiter will be able to play the video and see how good you are in that skill. Let me a few more people. Yeah. Is it clear so far? Please tell me yes or no. Yes, good. So we'll resume our presentation. And one more thing about the pronunciation of resume. It's not resume. Resume means you start something you have stopped. And for this occasion, for CV, you should use the pronunciation resume. It's not even resume, it's a resume. So many youngsters I have heard saying that resume is completely wrong pronunciation. You are saying something else if you tell like that. So this way you will be able to prove your skill to the recruiter. So if any of them doesn't have a good project in your hand, this is the time to work on that. Just with the appearance of the resume, the HR won't be HR is not going to clear you. HR also need content, some solid content like this. So tell me, how many of you are having a good project to demonstrate in your resume? Say yes or no. If you are having good project, tell yes, otherwise no. Just be open. Just type in chat. If you think that you have a good project, good means really good, the HR should be, say wow. Okay. Just be open, anybody, all can type. It's going to be a self-evaluation for you. Okay, so it's a mixed response. Somebody is having a good project, somebody doesn't have. So before doing the good project, you should decide which is the stream you want the job. So it's very difficult to specialize in all the fields. There are many fields for an engineer. Even for a mechanical engineer, I can say there are 6 or 7 fields to work in. So it's a stupidity to focus on all the fields. You don't have much time in your hand. This is the time to start a job search. Serious time. So just find out what's your field of interest in this big engineering field, and if you don't have a good project even now, work on that project immediately. So keep in your mind that you are going to demonstrate or put the link in your resume. That's a whole purpose. So the HR should be impressed. He or she should say wow after opening your file. And one more thing, when you make your resume, never make it in image format, PNG or JPEG. Always make it PDF. The thing is that you are putting a clickable link on the resume. If it is in image format, it won't be clickable. Image is never clickable. So always make your resume, when you make it in Affinity Design or Adobe Illustrator, make that in PDF format, so that just with a click of a single click, the resume will open. So far so clear? So this is one way to demonstrate your skill. And I have one more suggestion for you. If you have so much skill to demonstrate, your resume will become somewhat insufficient. Okay, so we'll come to that later. I went to some other topic. Okay, the HR got impressed. You got a chance to attend the interview. You cleared the first hurdle, the biggest hurdle. And before that, the HR will do some background study of you. How good you are. So when you want to study someone about someone and you don't know anything about him or her, what do you do usually? When you want to study someone about someone's professional lives, maybe you came across one scientist or one good engineer and you want to know something about him or her, what do you do usually? Do you use Facebook, Twitter or Google search? What I'm asking is that Google, exactly. LinkedIn, exactly. We are coming to that. So HR is now impressed with your resume. She is somewhat confident that you have good content in your brain. Your brain is somewhat okay for the company. But she needs some background verification. Not background verification, that's the wrong word. She needs to verify whether you are a real person. Just one more verification. So she just for Google search. So when she searches your name on Google, your name should appear. And best way for is that, as I think Gobiga suggested, LinkedIn. So be very active and up to date on LinkedIn. So next question, again you can answer using chat. How many of you are having a LinkedIn account? Say yes or no. Good. Many of you are having, very nice. So mostly HR do not do direct LinkedIn search. They search it initially on Google, and if you have LinkedIn page, that page will come on the first. So be very active on LinkedIn and make it up to date. Whatever you are saying on the resume, if you have done this project, that project, you have that experience, add everything in the LinkedIn. If you are saying something on the resume and if that is not reflected in the LinkedIn, then HR will be confused. Also try to make contact with highly professional people. You can send them a request, you can try to have a conversation with them. This is a good method. And I told you, you can demonstrate your skills using these two media. But if you feel that these two mediums are not enough, there is one amazing platform called Behance. This is D. So for example, this guy Johnny Tran, he is working on some project and he will upload that file in Behance. So maybe job seekers can see him or other job providers can see his work and he'll get direct work or direct job. And this is a very professional and easy way to share your work to the whole world. So you can do, what you can do is that you can create a Behance account also, and the projects you have done so far, maybe an AutoCAD file or a FE analysis or SolidWorks file, CATIA file, you can upload in Behance. This is a very easy and neat way to present everything. You can even present your profile like this, even details of the work. For example, this guy has worked on this headset and he developed this headset using SolidWorks and KeyShot. So you can mention the software used, even the details of the work. So on resume and on maybe Google Drive, you won't be able to present in neat way, but Behance is for that, to demonstrate your skill to the whole world. So how many of you are hearing Behance for the first time? Say yes or no. Are you hearing Behance for the first time? Yes. So I am giving some new information to you. So today is the day to open Behance and start an account, and I hope there is a username like in Instagram. Username is a hot property. Whoever takes the username gets that cute username. Whoever takes the username first get that cute username. So don't waste your time, open Behance and try to get your cute username today. Don't waste your time. And that's not sufficient. You have to have good projects with you, maybe videos or files that you can upload in Behance in very, very detailed way. So the recruiter can go through it, see all the details of your work, not only the output, even the process behind your output, you can demonstrate there. Clear? Clear so far? Say yes or no. Type yes or no. Is it clear so far? Yes. So I am not making you overloaded. Okay, that's the advice from me, and so all this advice are based on. So maybe I will stop the presentation. So all these advice are based on my own experience as a recruiter as well as a job seeker. And this advice, what I said as I said at the beginning, it will help you clear the first round. Obviously, definitely you clear it. That's the biggest part. Also, it will also help you clear the second round. So most hope after maybe this corona period is over, they will invite you to the office location, because people want to see candidate face to face. They want to look in your eyes. There's a lot of psychology. So during this Skype meeting or Google Meet meeting, they won't be able to understand psychology of the person completely. So people want face to face meeting, physical meeting. So they will invite you to their location. But preparation for this first round is going to be a good benefit there also. To attend the interview, to answer their questions, to impress them. This is not only for first round. For first round, it's going to be a good help, but it's obviously going to help you in second round also. Clear? And I have one more advice for you. That's especially for our Kerala engineering students, because we Malayalis have a bad habit or maybe a misconception that pretending ignorance is humbleness. Are you getting my point? I'll tap it here. I have come across many people, especially people from South, they believe that spelling mistake. So nobody says like that, pretending ignorance is humbleness, but always during our educational career, from standard LKG to till now, we are brought up that way. So we always fear that if we showcase our talent, or if we openly tell about our skills or knowledge, the other person may think that you are rude or arrogant, you are not humble. So we always try to say, no, I don't know that, no, I'm just okay in that, I'm just average in that skill. We have that habit. So, but remember, pretending ignorance is not humbleness. You are going to be a stupid person if you pretend ignorance. So never do that. And it's always okay to be, it's okay to praise yourself in this current modern world. I'll take that also. So this is a simple advice, you can take it or ignore it, but when you face a real interview, physical interview, telephonic interview, if you pretend that, if you pretend that you don't know that knowledge, you are just okay in that, then HR is not going to accept you. So it's always okay to praise yourself. You can tell that I know that. If somebody is asking you, you know SolidWorks well? Yes sir, I know it well. I think I know it well maybe, but I'm still studying about it, and I'm quite confident that even if we get a new problem, I'll be able to solve it. That should be your attitude. Instead, if you say that I am average on SolidWorks, I'm okay in that, then he's not going to get impressed. He may think that you are low in confidence, and he's obviously going to reject you. But actually what you are trying is, you are trying to be humble, because you have a misconception that pretending ignorance is humbleness. Somewhere in your life, almost all the South Indians learn that. But North India is not the case. There people are more open-minded. They even tell they even claim what they don't know. That's the attitude. That's the wrong thing anyway. Don't claim anything that you don't know. But this is again more dangerous than the previous attitude. So if somebody is having this attitude in this mind, throw away from your mind. You are going to lose your precious job because of this simple attitude, even if you follow all this procedure. Always stay confident, and if you know something, tell that confidently. I know it, and I'm still learning about it. Be very positive.